Welcome to the Brent Regional Training Centre. This is a workshop celebrating one of the books for World Book Day that we have adapted, inspired by the Creativity for Kids by Apple Education. We've taken a number of books and come up with some creative tasks that will develop skills in drawing, photography, music and video. And today's book is one of our favourites. It's The Day the Crayons Quit by Oliver Jeffers. In this particular set of activities, we've based them all around the colours of the crayons. And so we have 8 challenges that we think young children can achieve using iPad in the classroom. So let's take a look at the first task. So the black crayon says, how about a black beach ball sometime? Is that too much to ask? In this challenge, we ask you to photograph some colourful objects and replace one of the colours with black using Markup. So let's take a look at how that's done. I'm just going to take a photograph of this lovely colourful rug that's in our corridor. And once I've taken that image, I can click on the little thumbnail just below the camera icon. And at the top of the screen, you'll see the Edit button. So let's click on Edit. And then those 3 dots at the top, if we select that, it allows us to go into Markup. Now Markup gives us all sorts of tools. I'm just going to use the felt tip here with black. And I'm going to outline this pink square here. And I'm going to change all the pink squares on this rug so they are black. Let's just shade that in. There is no fill tool in Markup, so it is a manual shade. So let's just go through and shade all the other pink squares. Now, of course, this ability to be able to mark up images is transferable across so many different areas of the curriculum. You could be marking up maps, drawing on routes, you could be marking up work, you could be changing design of your classroom. You could also use this to take a picture of a blank t-shirt and draw designs on the t-shirt so that the design is actually on the person wearing the t-shirt. So many different ways of being able to use Markup. Now, as soon as I've finished colouring this one in, I can click on Done, and then I click on Done again, and that image is saved into my camera roll. Now, our next task is all about the colour red, because Duncan uses a lot of red in the book. So this is a challenge to find out how many red things you can photograph. Now, the idea is that once you've taken your photographs, and here we're looking for items that are red, we put them into an image gallery. So here I am in Keynote, I have a blank slide, and I'm just going to click on the plus sign at the top of the screen that you can see there. Now this allows me to select an image gallery, which means I can post lots of photographs at the same time. Just click on the plus sign to choose your photographs, and you'll see that I've already got a selection of red photographs that I've taken. So let's just tap them all, click Add, and they're automatically dropped into the Keynote presentation. Now I can double tap where it says caption to be able to write in what each of those objects are. So I can add in that it's a rug, and I can add in that it's a fire alarm here. And if I then press play, let's not add any captions to the others, you can see the captions appear, but on those where there are no captions, nothing appears. Let's just scroll through. Now we've got a photograph here that is out of focus. So let's come out of the presentation, and while the image gallery is selected, if I click on the paintbrush tool, I can manage my images. So if there's an image that I don't like or doesn't work, I can just click on the little delete icon and get rid of it. So that when I play my image gallery through, I've got all these lovely red photographs of really high quality. So that's an image gallery for the red crayon. Now our next colour is green, because Duncan's very good at using green, and green crayon is very happy. So this is a chance to use clips to take a walk outside and look at the world around you. Here you can see I'm in clips and it's in square mode at the moment. I'm just going to change that by clicking on the boxes at the top right to put it into widescreen. Widescreen is now available in clips, and it's a great way to be able to make video that will actually fit screens beautifully. Still got all the same functions, so I just hold down the red button to be able to record. I'm just going to record for 5 seconds. There's another plant over here, so I'm just going to hold that down and move it up. Just pan up on that particular plant. And over in this section of the playground there's some lovely green artificial grass, so let's just take some seconds of that as well. Now once I've got that footage, I can click on the little star icon below the red record button, and it gives me the option to be able to change the filters if I want to, but I can also add in some stickers. So I'm just going to add in this green sticker here, change the text just by tapping on it. I'm going to write playground. So move that around so I can place it anywhere on my image. And then if I just press play on that screen, you'll see the sticker comes up. It's got a lovely effect to it, lays over my video, and I could do that with the rest of my images as well. It's a really quick way of being able to gather lots of green things in our green challenge. So our next crayon is yellow. Yellow is the colour of the sun. And so the challenge here is to draw the sun and turn it into an emoji. And so just in Keynote, I'm going to have this blank Keynote deck, and I'm going to click on the plus sign and select the drawing tools. And for this particular piece, I'm going to use the crayon, as we're looking at the book all about crayons. I'm just going to change the colour to yellow and draw a circle, and I'm going to shade that in. I'm going to put these little rays of sun just around the outside as well, which is really lovely. Now, when I draw the glasses, I'm going to change just to the felt tip kind of marker pen. I'm going to change the colour to black to make my emoji eyes, and I'm just going to draw in some glasses. And I'm going to attempt to just fill them in using the fill tool. But as you can see, you can't fill them in. And even if I drew around the edge of the shape, it still wouldn't fill in because my background is crayon. So it'll only fill the gaps that are in the between the crayon and the surface of the slide. So I'm going to need to colour these in manually. I'm just going to do that. And now let's add in a little smiley mouth. It's a very happy sun. Look, the sun is out. We're always happy when the sun is out. There we go. And we can use different colours to be able to colour in the teeth there and the lips. And I'm also going to change the background for this one as well, I think, because the yellow doesn't sit well on the right. So making sure that nothing is selected on your slide. If you click on the paintbrush tool, it gives you the option of being able to change the background. And I'm going to go for a gradient here. It naturally selects two shades of blue. I'm actually going to change the bottom one to white to create a lovely bright sky. And then press play, and there we have it, our lovely emoji sun. Now, of course, the blue crayon in the story is used to make oceans and skies. And so what we thought here is a lovely video task where we look at what water looks like in slow motion. So we're going to turn on a tap and film that in slow motion. Here in my camera mode, you can see I've just selected camera, and there's time lapse, and just below time lapse is slow motion. So this will capture just a normal video at normal speed and then add in a slow motion. So let's press record, and I'm going to turn on the tap and let the tap run for a little while and then stop the tap. Now, once I've finished recording, if I click on the edit button, it will take me into the image, and you can see the video there on the top and underneath these little markers. Well, if I drag the little marker, I can move that marker to where I think the water starts to come out the tap. And at the point where the video reaches that marker, it will play it in slow motion. I can also change the ending as well of that piece. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's amazing. You can see in slow motion just the drips coming out first of all before the water flows, and how it moves from just the left-hand side of the tap to filling the centre of the tap. There we go, slow motion. Now Pink Crayon says, could you please use me sometime to colour the occasional pink dinosaur or monster or cowboy? So we're going to draw something using nothing but the shades of pink in Keynote. So the wonderful thing about Keynote is it comes with all of these shapes. In fact, pages and numbers are exactly the same. So when I click on the plus sign, I can search through a number of categories. There's transport in there, there's arts in there. We can search individually for toys or hats, whatever we want. But actually, look, there's a rubber duck that I saw there. So let's select the rubber duck. Now I don't want to draw around this with a marker pen. I'm going to show you a technique using the paint tube, which is sometimes known as the fill tool. You can see here we've got 4 shades of pink that sit really nicely together. So let's select our paint tube and turn it into a pink. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw around the edge of our rubber duck. And when I let go, it will go pink. Let's choose a darker shade, I think, for its eyes. And maybe give it a little tuft of hair as well. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. Okay, let's go into another shade of pink. And let's put a little breast on the duck. And let's do the bill as well. Now, one of the nice techniques is being able to choose that darker colour again, which of course I've already used, but I'm going to reduce the opacity here, which makes it slightly transparent, and it will just change the colour of the wing that I draw as it sits on the duck. And there we go, put a little fluffy tail on as well. So let's remove the duck from underneath just by clicking on him and deleting. And of course we need this duck to be able to swim, so let's give you a quick tip on that. When nothing's selected, we can change the background by clicking on the paintbrush. I'm just going to change it into a gradient of blues. But I'm also going to add in a shape, and I'm going to go to a basic shape of just a square or a rectangle, and I'm going to fill that up along the screen. And I'm then going to send it to the back. So you can click on the rectangle, click on the paintbrush, click on the arrange tool and drag that slider to the back. Now, the duck is now sitting on the water, but it doesn't really look like he's sitting on the water. So here's a little tip for you. If you go into the colour selector and select the little dropper at the top, you can then choose any colour that's on the screen, and it will turn your tool into that colour. So I'm just going to select the water, and then I'm going to draw a wavy line underneath my duck, so that when I let go, it looks like our duck is sitting in the water. So the orange crayon is clearly the colour of the sun, according to the orange crayon. But we're going to explore the world of live loops in GarageBand to make your own summer beats. So open up GarageBand and go into live loops, not tracks, but you want a live loop here. And because it's summertime, I'm going to select chill. Now live loops works really well. You just tap on one of the loops and it will just loop and play. There it goes, looping and playing. If I tap something next to it, it will replace that loop. So you can only play one loop in any row at any time. But I can play multiple columns. So let's tap on multiple columns, which is good. I can hold down on the left hand side where the instruments are to move up and down to reveal more instruments. This is definitely a chilled summer beat. Good. If I want to stop a loop, I just tap on the loop to stop it and it will stop at the next time. It works at kind of 12 o'clock, quarter past, half past and quarter to. If I select the arrows at the bottom that you can see pointing up, I can select the whole column and change the columns. And I can end it with this last column because this is not in a loop. Okay, let's record some music. There we go, that's our chilled summer vibes for the orange crayon. Now you may remember for the purple crayon, Duncan needs to practice colouring inside the line, so we're going to help him. We're going to go into Keynote and we're going to find a toy. So here we go, in Keynote, click on the plus sign And you'll see when we go to the shapes, look, I've just typed into the search bar the word toy, and I think I'm going to select the teddy bear. There we go. Now, using the teddy bear, and I've just pinched and zoomed there to get in a bit closer, I'm going to add and get my drawing tools, change this colour to purple because it's purple crayon, and I'm going to draw around the edge of my teddy bear. Now I can draw around really carefully, and as long as my lines are joined and there are no gaps, then the fill tool will work brilliantly. Let's go around his nose, and inside his nose, his eyes as well. Now when I select the paint tube or the fill tool and I change that colour to purple as well, I can tap anywhere inside my bear and it will fill it up with purple. I can also change the colour and do the same for his nose, go even lighter on his eyes, and that is how to draw something. Let's delete the shape behind and make sure that you don't go outside the lines. I think that the purple crayon would be very happy and Duncan would be very pleased with his art. And so those are our challenges for drawing, photography, video and music, all around The Day the Crayons Quit by Oliver Jeffers. There are other workshops available for other books within the World Book Day series, and we really hope that you have fun exploring all of these challenges. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again soon for another Brent Apple Regional Training Centre workshop.